everyone and welcome to a new vlog. As you know from the previous video, I had 2 exhibitions during the month of May, and the footage you see here is from the second one, the exhibition of the Art Collective. The Art Collective is a type of art school where you can subscribe and get classes, but without the stress of having to do an exam. It is more for people of all ages who want to learn something new or just practice their craft in a relaxing social environment. The art that is displayed in this video is the work of the students during these classes. During that day, I was also stationed at one of the artist tables where I was working on 2 traditional pieces that I had already prepared earlier that week, and I will show you some footage of that in the video later. The first illustration I created came to me while participating in the 100-day sketching challenge. The prompt was minicar, and as always I try to link every prompt I see to something I can relate to in my own life. While I saw the prompt minicar, I thought of road trip and all the stuff you can take with you. It has also been a while since I've used watercolor. The original intent was to use watercolor the same way I use digital right now, one flat layer and then shadow layer with a crisp line on top. Eventually I started layering the watercolors as gradients instead, and I'm not really sure why I did that. It came naturally to me and I kind of forgot that I was going to do the other technique instead, but it turned out great anyway. So I am officially back from the Art Collective exhibition. It was the first time that I actively participated because the last 2 years I was on holiday and therefore I couldn't be there. But this year they asked me if I wanted to work on some art while I was there, and I agreed, and it was a lot of fun. At first I was actually scared that I was gonna be too nervous because people are going to watch what you're doing when they pass by and they might ask questions, and I wasn't sure about that, but it turned out to be really fun and engaging. I really liked that I was able to show them different ways of using watercolor in my case. Usually they had the idea that watercolor would run into each other and mix and things, and that it's always like wet on wet. But I showed them a way that is more like a layered style, so one layer dries before you add another, and you can create different kinds of illustrations. As an example, there were other pieces there that did show the wet and wet technique. So it was really fun. The two pieces that I was working on was one that I had started in a previous class, and the other one is an Iraville inspired painting, which I will show you. So this is the Iraville inspired painting. There is a piece of her art that has this nice background, but it's a different color scheme that she has, and the front part is more of her tree designs and her stone designs. I only looked at her art, I didn't really copy, but for the background
I did really pay attention to the different elements that she had in place, for instance, like the trees and the light going through the forest. Everything else, I think, I mean, even just the shading on the tree is different because you can't completely copy an artist unless you're doing a master study, and that was not what I was going for. I sort of wanted to be inspired by and not copied. And this is still covered with masking fluid, so I'm not finished yet. This is going to be a tent because I like camping and I like to incorporate elements of my own life into my art. So this is going to be a tent. And this is still the background. I think I'm gonna put another layer of blue over it so it's even more darker. And I think I'm going to make this light beam a little darker too, but that will be for another time. And then the second one that I worked on is this illustration. It was created via a prompt for the 100 Days of Sketching Challenge. The prompt was mini car, I think. So I drew this mini car and then I put something gigantic on top of it. And again, it is actually the color scheme that I'm currently wearing, because I'm wearing this with then the, you know, khaki green. And these are just the colors that resonate with me. The tag is blue because my traveling buddy gave me a airplane tag for your luggage, and it is this color, so I had to put that in there. I usually don't pack this heavy, I actually pack really light, but I thought it was fun and it totally suits me. So I finished this with watercolor. Like the technique, there's not really a technique, there's just like flat layers of watercolor, and then I ended up using gradients for the bag, and then I finished it with a color pencil, and I'm gonna see if I can like zoom in. I'm not sure if my camera will allow this, but yes, you can see that there is like these marks, which is color pencil. Also the shading here is color pencil, and of course the little drawings are finished in colored pencil. If you want to know the materials that I've used, you can find them in the description below, as always. Now, the thing was that I created this giant window, and then the wind washers are like teeny tiny, but oh well, that's what it turned out to be. I wasn't really thinking of something realistic, I was more thinking of the illustration and what looked fun. So I sort of forgot about the windshields. But yeah, it was fun.
Before I post my art online, I scan the traditional pieces and clean it up digitally. Scanning artwork sometimes changes the color, so I mostly clean up the background and adjust the colors so it looks similar to the original. This also allows me to make my traditional art available on my Society 6 store. Through Society 6, my art can be printed on canvases, mugs, notebooks, t-shirts, and so much more. Since it has taken me over a month to edit this video, I also have an update on my own store. I told you in the previous video I had some things to put in order, and that has finally happened. So the next vlog is probably going to be me preparing to open my store officially. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time.